better relationships both at home and at work? Of course, we all do. Or be a more powerful leader and have more influence. Or be a better negotiator. It can be difficult to read the emotions and thoughts of other people, especially in tense or stressful situations. You may feel like you're missing out on important information, or you're unable to connect with others as well as you like. You can do one thing that will help you understand what others are thinking and feeling. This one thing can help you build better relationships, resolve conflicts more effectively, and even get you ahead in a career. It's simple, but it's tricky, and I'm here to show you how. Hi, I'm Stephen O'Keefe, and I work with organizations to drive leadership, diversity, and inclusion and accessibility using world-class listening skills. This is a series of episodes that I share with you on how to become a world-class listener through my lens as a person with a hearing loss. This series is called How to Listen in a Silent World. I recommend you turn on the captioning below to make it even easier to understand me. My methods are based on leading-edge research, tested and proven over years of professional and personal experience. This includes my law degree, experience running a national manufacturing company which supplied Fortune 500 companies, and also being able to serve a non-profit. Now, I know it's weird. You think it's weird, a deaf person talking to you about how to listen. It's as weird as a blind person telling you how to become a fighter pilot. But you'll be amazed at what you can find out what a deaf person can show you. Because listening is not just hearing the sounds. Listening involves using your eyes, your mouth, your heart, and your head. It's a full body experience. Today we will talk about how to listen with your eyes. Other episodes talk about the head, the mouth, and the heart. Listening with your eyes is all about reading body language and the power of eye contact. In any professional and social situation, it's important to be able to read the other person's body language and eyes to understand what they are thinking and feeling. Today's episode provides a guide on just how to do that. I discuss the different ways to use our eyes to listen and offer tips on interpreting the signals. With this information, we'll be able to connect with others and resolve conflicts more effectively. I promise you that if you do what I show you today, you'll be well on your way to reading other person's body language like a pro in no time. You'll have better relationships both at work and at home, and your influence will increase. I'm amazed that many people don't listen with their eyes, as you get so much information out of your eyes. I need to look at people to understand them, but hearing people are stopped looking at the very people we are trying to communicate with. We are so used to looking at our phones, texting. You miss so much information when you're not looking at somebody. And how do you feel when someone is not looking at you? You probably don't feel connected. When you look at someone, you connect in just a powerful way. Listening with my eyes is a huge survival mechanism, especially as a deaf father. Like when my son Connor was 5 years old and he would go up to people. I have no idea what they're saying, but going up to them I only see his back. So I would have to read out the facial expressions, especially if I couldn't understand the other person. If this other person looking at my son and going like this, I pat my son on the head. And if they're looking at me like this, I go, who's that kid? I don't know who that kid is. It's not my kid, and I'll walk away. But if that person had Botox, I'm screwed. You have no idea what they're thinking. To be clear, we got so much information when you look at someone. You can read their eyes, their body language. There's a lot of science behind it, but it isn't hard to learn. It's all about paying attention. I give you a few tips. Listening with our eyes has two parts. The first one is eye contact. The second part is body language. Eyes are so important for a deaf person because it's a huge source of information for a deaf person. So I need to see your eyes to understand you. As the old saying goes, the eyes are the window of the soul. A Cornell study determined that eyes dominate emotional communication when you're looking at the face. Eye contact is so crucial for 3 reasons. 1, it helps the other person feel like you're focusing on them, that they're the most important person in the room. It's all about connection. Being deaf has given me an edge in reading people's emotion because I have to constantly look at people's faces to understand them. I can often tell if they're happy or sad just by looking at their eyes. People often say it's flattering and engaging when I focus on their eyes, as they feel like I'm paying attention to them. This is something other deaf people have also been told. 2. Making eye contact is the first step in appearing trustworthy. Many politicians use this tool when they give speeches. They often don't wear glasses so they can make eye contact with the audience better. When I'm talking to you, I try my best to look at the camera lens because if I'm going like this, then if my eyes are darting away, then my connection to you is weakened. 3. When you make eye contact with someone, it helps you understand what they are thinking. The eyes give away so much. The ability to read emotions is universal. I study by anthropologists and pre-contact tribes so that people could understand emotion just as fear and laughter by looking at the eyes. Why do you think poker players wear reflective sunglasses? During COVID, when everyone had to wear masks, did you pay more attention to the eyes and realize how important it was for you to look at the eyes to understand another person? The pandemic was a nightmare for a deaf person as they can't read lips through masks. How to focus on the eyes. And I got a good feel for the person's emotional state just from looking at their eyes. Did you find during the pandemic that you paid more attention to the eyes? And important was seeing the eyes and understanding that person. For a deaf person, lip reading is not just reading the words. It's also looking at the person's eyes and expressing to get so much meaning out of them. Whenever possible, not too bright, I ask the person to remove the sunglasses when I talk to them. I always take mine off if it's practical, to give the person a better tool for understanding me better. If you're not ever unsure of how important looking at eyes are for communication, I recommend you do an experiment. Find someone who don't know where to gaze in their eyes for a few minutes. Feels uncomfortable in faces at times, and to intimate, and that you can really get a feel for how the person is feeling. It feels awkward, but it is so the real power of eye contact. Eye contact also gives you a major clue regarding the status of someone in a room, in a meeting. For example, if you observe others looking at a particular person the most, that gives you a strong indication that the person is the real leader in the room. Even for people who can hear, making eye contact is a way to show respect and empathy and courtesy. It shows we are listening and interested in what the other person says. In today's fast-paced world, making time for eye contact can be a challenge. But even a few seconds of sustained eye contact can make all the difference in how we connect with others. So, how do you go about reading emotions in eyes? First, you start by paying attention to the eyes. Simple. But many of us don't do this. Just don't overdo this. That was creepy, wasn't it? Instead, look enough to see the color of their eyes. Keep in mind also eye contact can work in great in North America and other cultures, particularly in South America or parts of Asia. It can be considered offensive. For many of your eyes shy. I challenge you to briefly make eye contact with strangers for the next week if you feel it is safe to do so. You'll be amazed how to find out the connection you can make. After all, getting information without the eyes isn't hard. For instance, if I'm driving and I see someone on the sidewalk go, I mean, it's pretty obvious what they're thinking, and it's time for me to drive off the sidewalk and back on the road. If you want to master reading emotions in eyes, you can just practice paying attention. However, you can do online testing, such as this one based on reading the mind in the eyes test developed by Simon Baron Cohen of Cambridge. Just a heads up, the test is tricky. Listening with your eyes goes a long way towards connecting with that person and being able to read their emotion. That's why whenever you can, try to see someone in real life we'll do a video call instead of a phone call. We'll put down the phone and look at the person. Listening with our eyes has two parts. The first part is eye contact. This one is second part is body language. Body language is a form of communication that uses non-verbal signals to express emotions of thought. These signals can use facial expression, posture, gestures, and movements. Body language obviously is especially important for me as a deaf person and be able to read someone, to listen to someone. We get so much information from observing someone by reading their body language. You may not realize it, but you're already a pro at reading body language. It's something we all do naturally, even from a young age. In fact, research has shown that babies as young as 6 months old can read and react to facial expression and body language to understand basic emotions such as happiness, sadness, or anger. So the next time you try to figure out what someone is really thinking or feeling, just remember that you've been practicing this skill all your entire life. In fact, young children are much more expressive in the use of body language, and a lot of adults show in body language is a much more subtle person of what they observe in young children. For instance, when my son was 3 and he was scared, you do this, I'm so scared. Sometimes we heard his favorite stuffed animal high. As adults, we do much more subtle persons of this. For instance, if we're feeling awkward or uncomfortable, just as in a business or social situation where you don't really know anyone, we may cross our arms high or hold a drink out in front of us, or even a bag almost to protect ourselves. Now, here are some general tips that can be useful for anyone who wants to read body language, deaf or hearing. Here are some of the things to keep in mind when reading body language. It all starts with paying attention to the details. Look for facial expressions. Facial expressions are one of the most reliable ways to read someone's emotions. Pay attention to the person's eyes, mouth, forehead. Even the lines in the forehead. Then you can look for signs of happiness, sadness, anger, fear. Observe the person's posture. How someone is standing or sitting can give you a lot of information about their emotional state. For example, if someone is slouching, it may indicate they're feeling tired or unhappy. On the other hand, if someone is standing straight with their shoulders back, it may mean they feel confident and alert. The other thing to do is watch for gestures and movements. Gestures and movements can give another clue on how someone is feeling. For example, if someone is visiting or tapping their foot, they may feel nervous or impatient. People who are happy or excited often move more around than people that are feeling tense. Or if someone is crossing their arms and legs, and may feel they're feeling defensive or closed off. And if people are angry, they may shake their fists and stamp their feet. But you can do all of that, but there are some basic principles that you need to consider every time you read body language to keep in mind. First, body language should be read in clusters. When we talk, we don't communicate with the single word we normally speak in phrases and sentences. The same goes for reading body language. We don't look at each movement in isolation. For example, if someone is visiting, it doesn't always mean that they're bored, but if they tilt their body to the exit is another clue that they're bored, and you can be reasonably confident that it means they're bored. The second basic principle of body language, it must be considered in context. But it is important to remember that each movement and gesture need to be looked in the context of different situations. We also need to look at the environment to see if there are any other clues can help you understand what their body language means. For instance, consider this situation. You're at a meeting trying to sell someone something, and that person has their arm crossed over and scattered over. Typically, this is a sign that the person is not receptive to what you're saying or selling. But whether they could because air conditioning is blowing down their back from the air conditioner at the meeting, or maybe it's a cooler day, so look at the context of the environment. And the third thing is to think about what happens if the body language and words do not match. If this happens, the body language will likely be more accurate than the words. After all, it is a survival mechanism that is evolved to determine if someone is a threat or not. We read the body language first before hearing the words and help us determine if that person is safe or not. Thus, if the body language and the words are not aligned, our minds have evolved to choose the body language. We see this every day when a politician says, there's nothing to be worried about, but they look petrified. Or even in our everyday conversation, for instance, if I say, I'm so excited, it's really obvious to you from reading my body language that I am not excited. In addition to reading other people's body language, it's also important to be aware of your own as it affects your ability to communicate with others. Body language is a two-way street. Not only are you listening to others when you observe their body language, but they are listening to you when they read your body language. You may not be aware of the signals that you give off with your body language. After all, how you carry yourself can say a lot about your feelings. Keep your posture open and your movement, you appear confident and relaxed. Or if you meet someone for the first time, it can be helpful to use body language to give a good first impression. Try to smile, make eye contact, and avoid crossing your arms and legs. That will show that person is open and friendly. By improving your body language, you'll be able to better communicate with others and build stronger relationships. Since body language is so important for deaf people, we've had to work hard to optimize our environment to be able to read body language. A lot of the tips that make it easier for deaf people to read body language can also be used by hearing people to read it and solve even more of the listening puzzle. Obviously, whenever you can, you want to meet people in person, as you can read their body language, or fall back and doing a video call. And then two, you have to think about the physical structure. When you meet someone in person, you want to set it up so that you can see each other easily. That means that the quality of the light is important. The room should be well lit, without shadows casting over the speaker. Also, the light should not be too bright, so that both speakers aren't planted. When you read somebody's body language, if the light is behind the person, it's much harder to see them. But if you're out of the light, it's easier. Like here, you can see me better. Nothing you want to do is you ideally want the furniture to be set up so it's easy for you to see each other. For example, if you're sitting opposite a table, remove any centerpieces that get in the way of seeing the other person. If there's more than 2 people at a time, set it up in chairs in a circle so they can all face each other and see each other easily. Now, you've learned several body language tips. My challenge to you this week is to read body language and really observe it. Watch TV or videos with the caption with the sound off and figure out if you can figure out what the actors mean. I watched a foreign movie without English subtitles. At meetings and a classroom setting, observe how others interact with each other and see if you can determine who has the most power in a room. If in a cafe, observe the patron. If you see a dating couple, see if you can tell if they're into each other by how they interact. You learn a lot and have fun doing it. Body language isn't hard, it's about paying attention. I've had to do it all of my life being deaf, and I get so much out of observing body language. To give you a heads up, keep in mind that the body language tips I've given you work well in Western cultures. However, other cultures have different traditions around body language, such as acceptable physical space, eye contact, and appropriate gestures. It's up to you to be sensitive to nuances in the body language. To recap, listening with your eyes has 2 parts. First is eye contact, second is body language. And at the same time, you should be aware of your own eye contact and your own body language. A lot of this is not hard. It's about paying attention to the other person and setting up your environment so it's easy to read another person's eyes and body language. Listening with your eyes provides a powerful tool that can help you understand others better, and is a skill that can benefit you in various areas of life, including your personal and professional relationships. This episode, Listening with Your Eyes, is part of a series on how to become an outstanding listener. If you want to learn more about listening better, I invite you to check my other videos. In them, I tell you how I talk about how to listen with your head, your mouth, and your heart. You'll be able to build up trust and make a good impression, and you'll find it fascinating.